Hey everybody, it's Theresa here of Larkin Design, and welcome to a brand new layout that I am sharing with you. I'm using a cut file that I just released in my Larkin Design shop. It's the May cut file and it's called Poppies. And so I've cut this out using my silhouette, and the cardstock that I used is a solid non-textured cardstock from Felicity Jane, and the background paper that I'm using is from my April collection called Sweet Chicks. And so I have in mind a pretty specific thing that I want to do on this layout, and I'm just going to give you a disclaimer or spoiler alert that the layout does not turn out at all the way that I intended it to turn out. And so we're going to go on a little journey, and we're going to spend a little time doing something that ends up not being visible in the end result. So what I want to do here is I'm thinking that I want to have paint splotches underneath the cut file. And so I'm just using my pencil here as a light to draw a light guide of where I want the paints to go on the page. And I'm going to just grab my paintbrush and a little bit of water and paint within those lines. And I drew around the photo so that I knew that I didn't have to paint there, and also so that that part of the paper would not be saturated with water. So I just have a couple of paints here from Vicki Boutin and from Tim Holtz and some acrylics here. And in hindsight, what I should have done here, you guys get the benefit of my hindsight now, I should have spent a little more time mixing the colors, because of course Vicki Boutin's colors have their own feel, and they're gonna project their own feeling to the layout, and that feeling does not coordinate well with the feeling of Pinkfresh. And the product collection that I wanted to use was Pinkfresh Let Your Heart Decide, which of course is really muted colors and really calm and peaceful colors that I love, and I love that collection so much. But Vicki's colors and her collections are more vibrant and convey more energy. And so I did not do a good job of spending time to mix my colors well here, or to try them out. I just put them down on the page, right? And so I can tell already right now that they're a bit too bright. It's a bit too much energy here in these colors. They're beautiful, and if I had, again, coulda, woulda, shoulda, if I had cut the cut file out of white cardstock, these would have been really beautiful, and then I could have just gone with these colors in the layout. That would be one way to handle the way that this happened. Would have been to recut the file in white cardstock and just go with these colors. It would have meant selecting other embellishments to go with these colors, and that would have been okay. But here's what I'm going to do here. And so at this point, I thought, well, let me work with it a little bit more. And of course, my eraser just sort of crapped all over the background paper. Don't you hate when that happens? Like, it just drives me nuts. So I'm going to try and still cover it with the embellishments that I want to use. And so at this point, I'm still working with the epic paint failure that is on the page. And of course, then my adhesive runner runs out, and I'm all out of my favorite adhesive, and I'm using the sticky thumb. And let me tell you, the sticky thumb tape runner is really sticky, like annoyingly sticky. But I'm going to try to work with what I've done here. So I'm going to layer all my clusters and all my embellishments and add those around the photo here. And this photo is one that I took a couple of weeks ago when I was doing some video for In My Pocket, Volume 2. And I love having those opportunities to take nice photos of myself and edit them and then use those for a layout for my personal album or for my Things I Need to Hear album. So this layout falls into like 3 categories that I do, right? It falls into my Things About Me album. It works beautifully for using the Pinkfresh Let Your Heart Decide collection, and I've been doing a series of 51st layouts, so it belongs in that category as well. And then of course I'm showcasing this new this new Poppies cup file, so it belongs in that category as well. So what I'm doing as far as design for this layout is creating a visual triangle. I have a cluster of embellishments at the bottom of the page, around the photo, and then at the top. And so that's sort of my visual triangle here. Good design. Still, the paint is bugging me. It just doesn't fit with the overall collection, and it's not consistent with what I really wanted to do with this layout. So guess what? I'm going to pitch it and I'm going to just cover it with another pattern paper. I am going to keep the paint splatters that I did on the right-hand side of the layout. Those are small enough that they don't take over and they don't absorb all the energy from the layout. So, and then they make it worthwhile, right? It was still worthwhile to pull out my paints, to spread the paint around the page and work with paints a little bit. And of course, we all love paint splatters. So there we go. I am doing the pattern paper is off center. I'm not putting that seam in the center of the layout. It's off center. And so following the rule of thirds here. And then I like how the cut file pops now against the greens of that background paper, and it also pops against the black and white. And that's really what that cut file cut in that colored cardstock, what that needs. And what the embellishments need as well. So sometimes, you make a big mistake or a big oopsie and it works out anyway. So that's the journey of this layout. I also am doing something really fun here on top of the pattern paper that I really like. And so the Let Your Heart Decide collection had these really cute little shelves, like scalloped shelves and scalloped puffy stickers that are curved. And I'm going to carry those across the left-hand side of the layout here. And at this stage, I'm not really sure how this is all going to come together, but I'm just putting things down that I like and sort of repeating some of the colors that are in the layout themselves, refining some of the little clusters here at the top and the bottom, just adding some of these little details to the layout. There's so much fun stuff to look at on this layout, but I really do like these little curved scallops or scallop curves. I don't know what you call them. They're just happy little elements here, and they sort of continue this horizontal element here too, where your eye goes across the page. And at this stage, I think, well, maybe I'm done, maybe I'm not. maybe I like this the way it is, maybe I don't. So I went and grabbed my stamps. They're also the Let Your Heart Decide collection, because I still want to use more of these little scalloped lines. So I'm going to stamp a couple of those. And then once I put these down on the page, I realized that they'll actually be a nice little home base for my journaling. And of course, I love just spreading my stamps around the page a little bit, just to add a little more depth to the background. And so now I'm just going to journal. And so my whole purpose for this layout, overarching theme of this layout, the title is Different is Beautiful. I'm going from that die cut ephemera that I've used. And so yeah, there's days where we all feel really different and we all feel really unique. And we are all very different. And we're all very unique, even though we're sort of looking for people who relate to us and people who feel familiar to us and feel like us. We're all still very different and very unique. And that's what I want your takeaway to be today, that different is beautiful and you are beautiful. And there's my completed layout. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you'll check out the cut file and go grab it for free during the month of May. I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.